think that time has finally come. I think we've finally come to that day where we can fill up our vintage toolbox. Since we started the channel in January of 2021, okay, it's been about a year now since we started the channel. 5-Star Restorations. We've been restoring and refurbishing vintage and antique tools. We've restored somewhere in the neighborhood of about 100 tools. Okay. Just give you a little history on this toolbox. We purchased it from a seller on Craigslist, and while we were at this seller's house, we saw a couple of these toolboxes. They were apparently his father's actual Carpenters toolboxes. He was a laborer in the city, okay, in Manhattan, and I inquired about them, and so I was able to obtain. I obtained 2 boxes, very similar. So this one is going to be perfect. I feel I've had my eye on doing a very light restoration, just getting it back in fully functioning condition, okay, without really changing the patina in any way. I want to leave the patina as is pretty much, but we want to do a little bit of work to it just to bring it back to its former glory, where it left off, and continue in the spirit of this person's father. Okay, he since had passed away and had passed down this equipment, including this toolbox, to his son. So now we've obtained it, and we want to really do it justice, the justice it deserves, and put it really back into action. So what we're going to do is we're just going to give you a brief overview of what we have here, and just give you a quick brief overview of what we plan on doing, what type of updates and refurbish we plan on conducting with this piece. Okay, like I said before, I want to keep it basically original. All right, so it's got a latch on the top. Okay, looks like a tin latch, may have been replaced at some point in time. The actual where the lock goes through, the loop, is brass, probably original. So let's just unclasp that or unlatch that and just bring down the door. Okay. So you can see the interior is in very good shape. It appears to be mostly original wood. This piece over here looks to have been replaced quite some time ago, but it's newer than the other side. But as far as the woodwork, looks like everything else is original. Okay, so it's in really good shape. After we give you a general overview, we'll give you some close-ups so you can get an idea a little bit better of what we have here. Okay, let's just shut this for now. Okay, we'll bring you around to the top. Okay, as you can see, the original multi-strand or multi-layer handle. Looks like a canvas handle, possibly leather. Yeah, it looks like leather handle. Is torn from one of the anchors, one of the mounting points, or one of the brackets. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to remove this, and we're going to create a new leather handle, and try to replicate what we have here. Okay, so that's that. Okay, let's just bring it around to the one side. Okay, and you can see we've got 2 hinges here. These, I'm not sure the metal. We'll find out later on. I doubt that they're brass. They're probably some type of iron or tin. What's nice is it does have brass corners, so we're going to clean them up and polish them, leaving just a bit of the antiquing or the patina on them. So all 8 corners we have. The brass corners still intact and still there, which is really nice. Okay, so we'll just take a look at what I'll call the bottom. Okay, you can see where this was laid down most of the time like this. Okay, whereas really this was not really the top; it was really more of the side. Okay, you didn't open it like this and go in there, although you could, but the the way these were designed back in the day, back in the early 1900s, is it was designed to sit more upright like this. And so when you open, this would come down, and then generally there would be some type of link chain that would stop this right here, and so this would be more of a shelf area, okay? And then you'd have your tools laid out in here. And in many cases, in many cases, there was a shelf here. So there is no shelf on this one for some reason. It really should have a shelf, frankly. So what we're going to do is we are going to use a reclaimed piece of 120-year-old lumber to put in a shelf. Okay, I think for us, we want a shelf. We need a shelf for certain tools we're going to put up there. I mean, we're going to load this thing up. I mean, we're literally going to load this thing up with all vintage and antique tools, everything or many of the items that we've restored over the previous year. Okay, so it's a very complete unit, which is really nice. We're going to bring it back. We're going to just clean it up. We're not going to really change the patina here. We're just going to clean up some of the hardware, replace the strap, install a shelf, and and then put it back in action where it should be. All right, let's just bring the camera in. Okay, so we're just going to do a little walk around on this and give you some close-ups of what we're working with here. You can see the leather strap. It's 4 layers. It's torn, so this is going to be new. You can see some of the hardware. Brass corners. It's a really great vintage toolbox. So we're gonna unlatch it and then show you the inside. Okay, you know, you're looking at a toolbox, probably according to the owner, from the 1920s, 1930s. Okay, so you're looking at a piece here that's about 100 years old. Okay, which is absolutely amazing. Okay. I wish you were here right now with me. You could just take like a breath in through your nose, and you really smell, the history of what we have here. It's just amazing. You can't really appreciate it fully unless you take a good whiff of it. So this is the piece I wanted to show you of the reclaimed lumber. I've used a couple of pieces from this on other projects. This came out of a 120-year-old barn. It was a barn that I used to own, so I know that, know the age of it from the survey. When we put a second story on the barn, we removed the rafters, and these are like true 2x4s, okay? And we saved a few of them. Saved what we could. Okay, so there you have it. We did an intro of the turn of the century toolbox. So this is Paulie D from 5SR saying thanks for watching and have a great rest of your day. Smoky Mountains, Tennessee.